Christian history is replete with serious thinking on the life of the mind. I guess the one I've spent the most time with is Augustine, the great Western Church father, 354 to 430 AD from Northern Africa. And Augustine, in a sense, really set the stage for, in many ways, for Christian thinking about the life of the mind. So Augustine is helpful for a lot of reasons. In his book on the Trinity, he has a great quote where he says, it's not wrong to seek to know who God is as long as we humble ourselves before God. I'm paraphrasing. We humble ourselves before God and we realize that every time we are coming to know God, that is because of God's grace towards us first. So Augustine at his best is very intent to encourage humility in the intellectual quest. Augustine's also helpful because he was very clear in works like On Christian Doctrine that God has created the world, God is governing the world, and when we discover truth, we always know wherever we find truth, it is our Lord's, because God is the author of all truth. So wherever you find it, you're finding truth that is there because God is ruling all things. But a third insight from Augustine I think is very helpful is Augustine argues that every time we have any aspect of, or anytime our knowing processes work, it is because Christ is the teacher illumining the mind. So Augustine has this very Christocentric, Christ-centered understanding that knowing is never a neutral process. It is never an autonomous reality. When we know, it's like God is holding us in our hand and Christ is the teacher allowing the mind to work and allowing understanding to happen. So he talks about how Christ illumines the mind so we can truly know things. And I think you can make the point that as this theological perspective on knowing kind of falls out in Western culture or is ignored in Western culture, you have an increasing difficulty in accounting for why knowledge works. And as this Christian perspective kind of wanes in this or that pocket of Western culture, and probably it is waning in many ways in general in Western culture, I think you see an increasing confusion about the possibility of knowledge. And I think the Christian has a very coherent, beautiful, persuasive account of why knowledge is possible and how it works.